Hello, everybody, and welcome to the June 28th, 2018 edition of the Ephrom Josine Show. I am your host, Ephrom Josine. Today was originally planned to be kind of the special regarding Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's election, or her winning the primary against Joe Crowley. However, while I'll be covering a lot of the ones I had planned today tomorrow, I'm not covering a good amount of them today because just as I went to record, I had this feeling in me that I needed to go to the Louder with Crowder website. Now, that's a feeling I sometimes get. I usually ignore. But I didn't ignore this time, and I'm glad I didn't because I found our old pal Courtney Krishoff. And if you haven't seen this show before, I'm not a fan of Courtney Krishoff. I think she's just awful as a journalist. Opinion. The left isn't pro-choice. They're pro-force. The left won the abortion argument. You see, she already admitted we won. That's nicer than Courtney usually gives us. I can tell Courtney has been warming up to us as of late. When they called their movement choice, because who isn't for choice? Well, by your own admission, you. It was a ruse, a well-executed marketing ploy, which conservatives have never done before. A sleight of hand to distract from what abortion actually is, not empowerment for women. No one is like, yeah! Abortion! Yeah, no one actually does that. No one thinks it's empowering. People like me just don't care one way or the other. Okay, I mean, maybe you could actually find, like, some ungodly radical feminist out there who actually does consider it empowering. But we both know that's not the majority. To paint them as the majority is just intellectually dishonest. Not choice, but a Democrat Party cash cow, which Republicans have never once been guilty of, by the way. A ringing till every time an unborn baby's heart beats its last. The left modists operandi is always to distract from what it really is. It projects itself as a bastion of tolerance. Define tolerance, but okay. Care, love, and above all else, the freedom to choose. And this is a trick the right loves doing. They love saying, oh, why, you describe yourself as pro-choice in this one case. Therefore, you must be an anarcho-capitalist, because only then do you truly believe in unlimited choices. I never said that. You know, it's like if Courtney Krishoff would probably say in response to some government policy, well, I'm pro-small government. And yet, I don't know, her party, oh, they support having a whole bunch of military countries. If you live in a nation in the Middle East, they support having military bases you can just trip over, having like 1 million down there. You see how bad of an argument, you see how not substantive of an argument that is. I'm not actually arguing against any of your positions. I'm just saying, well, you said this in one case. Do you mean nuance is a thing? Why, I'm blown. My mind is blown. And for that matter, I absolutely love this argument. It probably has an actual name. But I don't know what the name is. So I'm just going to call it, I don't have an argument. Because here are some of her arguments against, say, single payer. It is the left, not the right, who calls for single payer health care, forcing taxpayers to pay the health care costs of everyone else, even those people who do not pay taxes. Okay, honestly, I do believe that illegal immigrants should not have access to taxpayer-funded health care. I've made that very clear. But at the same time, you can't just say, oh, it violates my right. Yeah, well, the fact is, the system works. And for that matter, I love this kind of conspiracy theory they have, where it's like, oh, yeah, well, they're not going to pay for mine. No, they're going to pay for yours. You're going to pay for theirs. You're probably going to end up breaking even, honestly. It's the left, not the right, demanding taxpayers pay for free college for all, forcing taxpayers to fund college for little mush-brained students to earn some degree at a likely leftist university. And you want to know how you fix all this political bias? When you make something public, you can then go in and regulate it. That's why, like, you point to all these ridiculous, oh, they'll just get degrees in lesbian dance theory. Well, we can regulate it so you can no longer get that if you go to a public college. And for that matter, read the next point. It's amazing how little self-awareness these people have. It's the left, not the right, who opposes school choice, forcing families, usually middle class and the poor, to send children to public schools instead of a private school of their choice. So, wait, we should prop up private schools, private K through 12, give them taxpayer-funded money, give mostly Christian schools, because that's really who most of these vouchers go to, taxpayer-funded money, but you can't extend that to universities, because do we have the money to afford that? What? And even then, I just want to say, school choice, the idea that you can give public money to private schools, that is the very definition of crony capitalism. I'm sorry, it is the very definition of cronyism. Anyway, that took up longer than I wanted, so we'll just end with a tweet. Jack Posobiec, he's a far-right Christian commentator. He supports Donald Trump, you know, all of that. He tweeted out something the entire country just united to make fun of. Even if no matter what political ideology you had, even if you normally agree with it, you made fun of this because it is hilarious. To be clear, Nazis equal socialists. No, no one believes that other than people who have no idea how history works. The majority of historians, the majority of actual Nazis didn't really consider themselves socialist. Communists equals socialist, okay. Slavery equals socialist, yes. Karl Marx notably owned about 8 slaves. ISIS equals socialist. What, you didn't know that's what it stood for? It stood for Islamic Socialists in Iraq and Syria. You didn't know that? Hamas equals socialist, and La Raza equals socialist. Here are 2 replies that I think are funny to that. Nazis equals socialist. Genghis Khan equals socialist. The Roswell incident equals socialist. Mount Venus equals socialist. 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami equals socialist. The Club's Cup asteroid equals socialist. Well, now that's just obvious. And another one, I thought this was also really funny. Nazis equals socialist. 9/11 equals socialist. JFK assassination